Hello, everyone. It's Irene Elby here. And today I'm talking with the beautiful Mindy Krieger. Mindy, I know that I see that you and I understand that you help women with their weight loss goals, right?
Yep.
And you have some tools and some strategies that you want to share. And I just really I just really want to praise you, and I just really want to like honor you for coming on and allowing me to like talk to you and get to know you. And thank you so much for your time because I know how precious it really is. And so I'm so glad to meet you. And we just met, right?
I know.
I know. I don't even know how I don't even know what happened or how it came
I,
about, but girl, we are
hey,
connected.
it was meant to happen.
Yes. So I'm doing these things where I had been like interviewing people here and there about certain things that like I was passionate about or that caught my eye or just something that was happening in the world. And so I started doing interviews last year. And so I've done a few with some really powerful and beautiful spirits. And I wanted to start that up again because there was so much has happened within this past year, but like I got like kick dropped in December. And from then it's like, yeah, I know. It's like I've been trying to like get back up to continue with what it is I want to do. And so thank you so much for agreeing to allow me to interview you, pick your brain, and like
I love it.
let us all see a little bit of
Yes.
who Mindy is. So if you would please, with your graciousness and
Yeah,
beauty, let us know about you and what it is that you do.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for inviting me and bringing this opportunity out. Um, I've definitely had a transition of life as far as what's happened with my own weight loss and kind of where I've gone. So several years ago, I struggled with weight loss. I'll never forget the day my mom came to me and said, Mindy, you need to go see a nutritionist. And I told her she was crazy. I didn't need to go. Because I really just didn't want to face my weight and how my life was. I really didn't think I had a problem, and I was fine. I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was living life, and I thought it was everything was fine. But because I was trying to be a good daughter, I said, okay, I'll go to the nutritionist and see what's going on. So I went, and I'll never forget stepping on the scale and just being like, wow, okay, my weight is way higher than I thought because I just didn't want to face reality, I think was mainly. And, I wasn't really taking care of myself. And so that day forward, I told my mom, okay, I'm going to make changes. And so I did it all by myself, through counting calories and exercising, but I started out, not being able to even walk very far. Um, and through slow and steady changes, I lost 80 pounds and I've kept it off. And so the transition of what it was like being tired, you know, um, not not feeling confident when I was with other friends and family, um, just not feeling the best I could. And I didn't realize that at the time. I was like, oh, I just need to lose weight. But I didn't realize how it mentally affected me and how it physically affected me. And so I've made changes over time. And I've kept it off because I feel like when losing weight, it has to be something sustainable. It's really hard to lose weight and do fad diets, and then usually most people gain it back just because it's not sustainable. And so I don't believe in crash diets and things like that. um, and so because of that, because of my experience, I've just gained so much knowledge. And then a couple of years later, I met a health coach who told me that she got to help other women, with weight loss and talk about exercise and nutrition, all these things that I was already passionate about. And I was like, well, I want to do that. Um, So I went and I got certified to be a health coach just so I could help other women learn
Wow,
things that I either didn't know or feel better about themselves. Um,
that is so amazing.
and so, yeah, so that's kind of where this all led me. And that's why I started my business, just so I could help other women live a healthier life, because I know what it feels like to be on one side where you're always tired and not feeling good, to the other side where I have so much energy and I feel great and I don't have to take naps in the middle of the day like I used to. And so I've seen both sides of it. And so I really just try to help teach other people what I've done. Anything I've taught or anything I do, I don't tell people to do things that I wouldn't do myself, because I feel like I got to be that leader and show you that it can be possible. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
people would much rather go with the person that they know did it and knows exactly
exactly.
what they're going through or going to experience. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
80
exactly.
pounds that's a lot of weight, 80 pounds. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine you 80 pounds heavy.
Yeah.
So that's just, it's amazing. So congratulations, because that is huge. So yes,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. So how long ago was this that you had this, like, this shift to where you were just done?
It was actually several years ago. I would say it was probably about 8 years ago. And then in the last probably 2 years or so, I really have gained a lot of knowledge. I got my certification. I've taken webinars just to strengthen the nutrition side that I didn't know about. Um, so there's like the practical side of like, kind of working through the lifestyles and those things that are hard to do when trying to lose weight on your own. And there's days that are good and days that are bad, and so I feel like working with someone, it would have been even better.
Mhm.
But so I mean, the weight loss of the 80 pounds was probably about 8 years ago or so, but I have continued that, and I have never gone back. And I think that's one of the strongest things, when having weight loss success, is not going back and not feeling like I'm on a yo-yo diet, or that I'm living a healthy
Yeah,
lifestyle and it's sustainable. And so yeah.
I know it really, when those patterns start to come back up and creep up, it really does make a difference to be able to combat that.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I totally get that. Let me try to pin that. Hang on. So yeah, so the things that you said that I heard you say was that when you were when you were ready to change and to shift your lifestyle and your way of thinking, one of the things or something that you said that's really important is consistency. The
Hmm.
consistency to continue with it, and no matter what, don't quit, because that stinking thinking, it crawls up. And so if you don't, it's I say, I've learned through my experience as well, that it's like you have to do the mind, body, and soul, and
Absolutely.
it's all connected. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and you have to nourish and care for each and every one of them. And so if you're just in just the mindset, it's really kind of superficial, because you're not working on the other two most important things that you need
Yeah.
to be working on for it to be aligned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mind, nutrition, exercise, it all goes together. It really does. I mean, when you have your good nutrition, you feel better, and it helps you with your mindset. Feeling your body properly is really amazing how much it affects you. And it all interconnects, which is, yeah, it's all it. The more I've learned and the more research I've done, it's amazing looking back on some of the things that I didn't realize was happening until now, that I'm like, oh yeah, that's what was happening. Like, I
Yeah.
eat so much more superfoods than I ever did before, and I feel so much better. And now I know the science behind it as well.
Right,
So
right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
So,
I
oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say absolutely like I learned how to nourish my body properly in ways in small changes. I mean, I really believe that you have to make small changes to build habit. And it never happens overnight. And the more you build those small changes, those things that were hard become easier. And then you just got to
Mhm.
keep progressing.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna have to edit because I don't know where the button is to get you like off the spotlight. I mean, I don't have to. We can keep you on the spotlight, but I don't know if you're gonna feel that awkward. If it's just
I don't even know what that means.
so you're right now you're like on the whole screen. Like we're not side
Oh,
by side. And
oh,
and so I'm trying to get it to where because before earlier we were side by side.
yeah.
So I'm just saying I'm just letting you know that I'm gonna edit it. So
Okay.
this won't be in there
I'm
until let
like,
me
hey, whatever happens, happens. It's fine.
I'm gonna try to figure out real quick how to put us side by
Okay.
side.
I'm like, hey, if you see my big face, it's fine. If my face is really big on the screen, I'm good with it.
Okay, let me see. So do you have kids? I,
No,
oh, you don't
I
have
don't
kids. So
want kids.
you're married and how long have you been married?
Uh, whew. Married, we're 9 years.
9 years. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. No, we don't want kids. I want to go
Kids.
travel the world.
My I have two older sons
Yeah,
and oh look, I can
you figured it out.
I have two older sons and they both are they're like I'm never having kids. And yeah, so
It's definitely changes as you get older, but I've never, yeah, it just never wanted.
okay, there we
No,
go.
the
Woo!
rest of my family can have the kids. I'll be a
Yeah,
great
yeah. And so yeah, so that's why I said that. I think that's funny, like because I hear that from my sons all the time.
right. I'm like, I tell my sister and my sister-in-laws, I'm like, you guys do it. Got it.
I'm like, okay, you know, it'll change. Things change all the time, especially when you like fall in
And no, I'm
love.
creeping up there. Well, right. But I'm creeping up there. I'm like at that spot where you better decide, but still not
I never,
happening.
girl, I never thought I would get married or ever have a baby. I had a baby 20 years after my I
That's
had it. I
crazy.
know, right? It's crazy. I know.
You look good
So
though.
thank you. So you don't ever know what life has
That's
in
true.
store for you.
That's true. That's absolutely 100%. I never
Okay.
thought I'd be doing this.
So let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay.
All right. So where were we? We were at you were telling us about um consistency. Oh, and
Consistency.
stinking thinking. We were talking about stinking thinking. So we can start, if you want to continue with that, or if you have, anything else that you want to talk about. I have a couple more questions, but I was just wanting to see if you had anything else.
No, I mean, we'll just keep going from there and
Yeah,
just
right?
we'll take it there, right?
Yeah. So let us talk about now what it is that you offer, people that you're helping, like the women that you're trying to help with their nutrition and their fitness and their mindset. What is it that you got going on with you?
So I have basically two different programs. One, I do it on more of an intense level where we meet one to one hour once a week and really dive into that person's situation and really dig down on what it is that you're trying to work through. Um, and try to get into why things are happening and how to get out of those habits that may not be healthy,
Mhm.
in ways to improve your lifestyle and make small changes. Um, so we meet once a week for a PowerPoint presentation that I put together just solely for an individual. And then I have another program where you kind of have three nutrition options and you do it on your own. And then you also have options for an exercise program. That one I still do work with the client, and I still check in with both programs during the week, available, text and messenger and all that. But that one is more, you do it on your own, and I'm here to support you as needed. So there's really the two different programs: is how much do you want help? Some people just need, once a week, quick text check-in. And I have an accountability group, which is a supportive group with that, where you get the exercise and you get your own nutrition program, but you kind of do it on your own pace. And it's not as intense. And then the other one where I do it, it's a little bit more intense, just because we go into a deeper dive and how much you want to work through it, so
I love that. I love that you said the deeper dive, because I mean, a lot of people, they don't realize, especially now, because we've all been programmed, right? And so a lot of people are waking up and they want the knowledge for themselves, and so they're seeking it. So there's seekers everywhere of truth, and rather than go to a university or go to somewhere where they've actually indoctrinated and programmed us there to think and be asleep and whatever it is that they've done, there's a lot of us that are waking up and doing our own research, and so we are self-educating ourselves. And I just love that there are people stepping up into this arena, because it's hard to do that, right? There's so many people doing it, right? And then there's so many people that attack you, especially like if you say you love Jesus, and that you love God, and that you're doing His will, and that this is what our purpose is here for. So I know that it takes courage to do what you're doing, to step out there, to share what it is, that has happened to you and what made you transform. That's so inspiring and so amazing and courageous. And I just want to say thank you, and I honor you for doing that. Yes.
That's so sweet. It's true. I mean, it really, I feel the responsibility. Like, once I learned that this was out there, that I could do this for people, to help other people, I'm like, how could I not do it? Just because I've seen it firsthand. And so it was like, I have to do this. And really, I just want to be that supportive person to help someone figure out what they need to do to feel great. I mean, ultimately, it's just, what can we do to help ourselves so we live an amazing life, and find those triggers to help that, right? Because sometimes it's the outside looking in is what I found that's so empowering, is that they're like, oh, well, I've been doing this, and I'm like, well, how about you try it this way? There's reasons that you haven't been eating healthy, right? It's that there's those triggers, and how about trying to do it this way, and recognizing what those triggers are, and saying, okay, you had that trigger. What can you do otherwise? Instead of going to eat because you're stressed, what other things can you do to make yourself feel good?
And that's why it is so super important to check yourself with, as far as your mindset goes, because if you have that stinking thinking that is always coming up, and you're just pushing it down, it ain't ever going to go away. It's always going to come up when your triggers, it's always going to be there, unless you learn to master your emotions, and then you master your health, and you master your body, and then you learn to appreciate everything, and you are just so grateful for everything, and you see things differently when you have your awakening.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say that was one of the biggest things. Growing up as a kid, my family, I mean, we grew up eating really unhealthy. The ideal American diet was what I ate. There wasn't any leafy greens. I ate canned veggies, which is okay every once in a while, but I never fueled my body right. And I didn't know, I mean, I couldn't even boil water. Okay.
I'm laughing because I resonate so much with you as far as the veggies go, because it was always just rice and beans and tortillas, that was a staple, and really didn't ever eat like too many vegetables, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
we had corn and things like that, but it wasn't like anything that to make us healthy or anything like that, as far as like
Yeah.
choices, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I had, yeah,
healthy
it
choices.
was as white American food as you could eat.
Yeah.
That's basically what I ate. Um, and then when I was going through my weight loss, my husband is Vietnamese and he introduced me to Vietnamese food when we were first
You're so
dating. And
lucky. Oh my gosh, you're so lucky.
it's like so I had never eaten it. I was like, what is this? Like, he was like, no, you just need to try it. And I'm like, okay. And they really like introduced the idea of fresh ingredients. Like nothing's processed. Everything is
Yes,
really, really fresh.
love that.
And it kind of started this like food journey. Like I love food. Like I eat so much food and I
Me
can
too.
talk about it forever.
That's why we're just kindred spirits, you know.
Right?
We are finding
Exactly.
each other. There's so many of us that are finding one another. And so when we find each
Exactly.
other, we're latching on to one another. So
Exactly.
because we
I
have
love
to
it.
praise each other to raise each other, and leaders raising other leaders, women
Yes.
helping other women rate, rise and do what it is that they want to do, their passions. I love that. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so I got introduced to all kinds of things. And now it's just like there's no stopping me. I'm like, what else can I try that I don't know about? You go into like the produce aisle and there's all kinds of stuff and it's
I
like, what is
know.
that? I don't know what that is.
But knowing how good and how just natural and healthy
Yeah.
wild blueberries. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just finding out. Do you know who Anthony William is? William.
No, I don't know that one.
He's the medical medium. They call him the medical medium. Anyway, he has all these. He has all these. He's touched, like, so.
Mhm.
Since he was a young boy, he's been hearing from the compassionate spirit, he calls it. Anyway, um, wild blueberries get the metal out of your head. I mean,
I mean, blueberries
there's
are
like
amazing for
I
your
know
brain health. Like
I know
amazing for your brain health. Yeah.
so many things that we don't know. They're actually the U.S. government actually bans fruit that are healthy for us. There's fruit that they ban that they do not allow in the U.S. market to be consumed because it fights cancer, or it's just antibiotics for you. It's healthy for you, and we will not allow it. So
Okay.
I love learning about new foods, especially when because our cells love it. Our
Yeah,
cells, they are
exactly.
screaming for
Yeah.
us to save them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. It's like if you feel your body right, your whole body, like the overall health is just amazing. But I don't know. I mean, I did not understand that in the beginning of my weight loss journey. I knew that I had a lot of things that I had to go through to have success. I mean, I used to eat candy and chocolate all the time. And then I went down to like, oh, well, it's dark chocolate. So that means it's good for me. But I wasn't paying attention to what I was actually eating and consuming. And like, I didn't know what organic meant and like why you should eat organic. I didn't understand that, the toxins that are in foods, like when you eat organic, it allows you to not consume some of those toxins and that really affects your overall health. But I didn't understand any of that. And so if I only knew what I don't what I know now, I'm
We
like,
all say
I would
that.
have been
Come on,
it would have,
come on.
you know, lengthened things, but I know now.
If I
But
only
it's
knew.
fascinating to me.
The world would be so different.
Exactly. Better late than never.
That's what I say. It's never too late to change your mindset. It's never too late to find a good role
Absolutely.
model. I love that. I'm 40. I'm 48. Ooh, I just had a birthday. So I'm 40. Yes. I'm 48. Oh my gosh.
I always
So
forget my age.
so it doesn't matter. I just started like my self-education, my personal growth journey just a few years ago. And so
Yeah.
it's it's been such an amazing journey so far, and meeting people like you along the way has just been such a blessing in my life because I just learn more about people, and just make those connections. And I'm so glad. Did you make the masterclass that they're
Yeah,
doing? Okay,
I got most of it. Yeah. Yeah, there
great,
was like a
great.
small bit where I lost connection, but that was just the internet, my problem.
Speaking of master classes, have you ever, do you have a master class or a workshop that you offer at all?
I have not put one together. I've been
You
kind
should.
of working. Yeah, I was gonna say I've been thinking about it, and definitely was like something I need to put together.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
I'm going
definitely.
as fast as I can, but I also want to, be there for for my clients, and then, also take
Oh
care of
yeah,
myself. So
yeah,
it's
no.
coming. It's coming out
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
in the future for sure.
If you need any help doing anything like that, as far as
Okay.
getting, you know, other people trying to, in your network, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I would love that. Yeah, my wheelhouse is definitely cooking. I do a lot
I
of
know,
like
right?
cooking. I do a lot of cooking videos.
I
Or if
love
you
the egg video that you
follow me,
did.
oh my
Yes.
God, they're amazing. They're
I
so
haven't tried it.
amazing.
I haven't tried it yet, but they
I
did. They look so fluffy.
They are. That was the greatest thing. One of these ladies I was speaking to, she tried it and she's like, since then I've had it like 4 times.
Okay, so now since we're talking about the egg, the fluffy egg, can you tell us what the fluffy egg is, and then perhaps maybe we'll I'll drop the video link of the fluffy egg so that way
Yeah,
people can
yeah,
see
no,
what you did. So
absolutely.
what is it with the fluffy egg?
So the amazing part, so it's basically eggs. It's egg white. It consists of egg whites, white wine vinegar, onion powder, and salt, and that's it. So it's super, like, there's not a lot of ingredients in there. It's most of the stuff you probably already have in your pantry. Um, and basically you do your egg whites and you take out the yolk and you do the egg whites and then you whisk the egg whites almost to like a meringue. And then once they're done, you
Yeah,
just bake it and put it on like parsnip paper, bake it for 5 minutes, and then kind of put a little divot in there. So you can either put the egg yolk in the hole and have it as like a breakfast, or you cannot use the egg yolk and you can use it as bread. So instead of a carb, you can use it as bread,
yeah,
to kind of cut down some of those carbs that are really not the greatest for us.
yeah. Using it as
Um,
bread would be pretty cool too.
yeah. Yeah. So that's another way to use it. So you can either do it as breakfast or you can do it as, I love a runny egg. So I did it as breakfast. But it's definitely like a versatile dish. So I love doing that.
So do you have a YouTube channel then?
I do. I gotta put that one on. I have not. The one that I do have on my YouTube channel right now is my Branzino. Um, I love
V
making a
Vino?
Branzino.
Oh,
It's like a
Branzino.
white fish. So it's a white fish. If you don't use Branzino, you could do like a trout. But it's
What about like
basically
halibut
uh
or
I think
rockfish
that huh?
or
Maybe
rock?
rock. I think rockfish would be okay. It's just a matter of the size. I
Uh-huh.
don't know how big um a halibut is.
Oh, and you can cut it to whatever, but so
It's
the
like
so
it's basically a smaller.
size
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just because I like doing, and also the amount of bones. Branzino doesn't have very many bones at all. It just has the middle bone.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's basically a white fish. So it's low in calorie, good in nutrition. And then I stuff it with lemon and rosemary and garlic, and then just put some olive oil, salt, and pepper on both sides.
Okay,
And
that's enough. I mean, my
yeah,
mouth
it's
is
it's
watering.
it's
It's
so
dinner time.
simple. It's so simple, and
It sounds
it
delicious.
it makes it look like you spent hours in the kitchen. Like, I love doing it when I have friends over because they're like, "Wow, this is amazing," and I'm like, "Yeah," but it's really not that hard
I know, right?
at
And it
all.
just takes
Like,
you half an hour to do it. You're like, oh,
exactly, you can do it within less than 30 minutes, absolutely, and that's cook
that's
time
awesome.
included. So yeah, absolutely. So I'm like, yeah, it's an amazing dish, and it makes you like look like you're a gourmet chef, and you're not. So, I gotta keep doing my videos, which I'll put on there. But yeah, so there's definitely like, I don't know. I definitely cook all the time. I wasn't, recording myself until as of late. So now
Good.
anytime
That's
I'm
good that
cooking,
you're
I'm
doing
like,
that because
I'm
it
starting to pull
yeah,
out
I mean,
the
video is what that's just the way to do it because people don't have time to like really sit down a whole lot. So doing the video and then the captions as well if you're speaking is really helpful
yeah,
too. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
cool.
So yeah, I definitely do a lot of different cuisines,
So
a lot of Asian cuisine.
we'll have to put all your links together as
Yeah,
well. So that way, if anybody wants to contact you for some
absolutely.
advice or some suggestions or even just to follow your
Yeah,
videos, they can
yeah.
reach out to you and they can contact you and they can
Yeah, I have like
follow.
a mini website that gives all my links
Yes.
to my YouTube channel, my website, my all my social media links. So yeah, we can post that on there. That way everyone can
Yeah.
contact me with questions, or if you wanna, I have, I can do a quick consultation just to kind of get to know people and kind of see where they're at and see how I can help and go from there. So yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. Well, thank you. I appreciate everything that you've shared with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
No, I just appreciate this opportunity and this was awesome. I
You're
I really
welcome.
enjoyed myself and thank you so much for it.
You're welcome. And we'll talk soon. And yes, we'll get
Right.
together and we'll talk about master classes and workshops because
All right.
they're
Perfect.
amazing.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Okay, bye, Mindy. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.